Hola amigos y amigas de YouTube, soy Andrea y vamos a practicar español. Today I want to talk to you about the regular ER and IR verbs. We did the AR verbs last time, and so this time we're going to work on the ER and the IR verbs in the present tense. Remember, when we're conjugating a verb, we're just changing the ending so that it matches the subject so that you can say a complete sentence in a grammatically correct way. I'm going to share my screen now with you. Voy a compartir la pantalla. In order to show you this presentation, tengo una presentación aquí que explica todo. Okay, regular ER and IR verbs in the present tense. So you have to remember the endings that you need to use. Remember, for the AR verbs, it was o, as, a, amos, ais, an. For the ER and the IR verbs, they're a little bit different. Instead of an as and a, it's an ace and an a for both. Notice here the nosotros forms are different. We got amos and imos. So the ER endings are o, es, a, amos, ace, en. Repite, por favor. O, es, a, amos, es, en. For the IR verbs, the endings are o, es, a, imos, is, en. So if you want to say I, that would be yo. You use o for yo. You use es for tú. That's the informal you, singular. Use a for él, ella, or usted, he, she, or you, formal. Use hemos for we, nosotros. Use es for vosotros, which is the informal plural you that they use in Spain. And you use en for ellos, ellas, or ustedes. Ellos meaning they, ellas meaning they, women, and ustedes meaning you, plural, in a formal sense. Okay, vender significa to sell. If I want to say I sell, it's yo vendo. And I can leave out the yo because vendo always goes with yo. So it's implied that the subject here is I sell. Repite, por favor. Vendo, vendes, vende, vendemos, vendes, venden. Good. So for example, I sell tortillas, vendo tortillas. I sell clothes, vendo ropa. We sell tortillas, vendemos tortillas. We sell clothes, vendemos ropa. You just change the ending in order to signify a different subject. Notice for the third person, vende, it could mean either él, ella, or usted. So you can leave out the yo, you can leave out the tú, but if you don't have any context, you need to include él, ella, or usted to signify whether you mean he sells, she sells, or you formal singular sell. Same thing down here in the third person plural, ellos venden, ellas venden, or ustedes venden. All three use the same form. Abrir is an IR verb. It means to open. If we want to say I open, we take off this IR ending and add O for yo, abro. If I want to say you open, take off the IR and add ES, abres. Él, ella, usted, abre. He, she opens, or you, formal, open. Nosotros abrimos, vosotros abrís, ellos, ellas, ustedes abren. All right, so here are some other verbs. These are other ER verbs. They all follow the same pattern. Aprender means to learn. If you want to say I learn, it would be aprendo. Barrer, to sweep, I sweep, barro. Beber is to drink. What would I drink be? Bebo. Comer is to eat. What would I eat be? Como. Comprender is to understand. What would I understand be? Comprendo. Correr is to run. How do we say I run? Corro. Tejer is to knit or braid. It can also mean to crochet. What would I knit be? Tejo. All right, so let's do this middle column for we. Instead of deber, we have debemos. Leer would be leemos. Meter, metemos. Prender, prendemos. Romper, rompemos. Temer, tememos. Absorber, absorbemos. And let's do this third column for the you informal singular form, the to form, which is es on the end. Take off the er and add es. Conceder would become concedes. Depender, dependes. Esconder, escondes. Poseer, posees. Sorprender, sorprendes. Toser, toses. Prometer, prometes. Muy bien. Here's some other IR verbs. Añadir means to add or to join. If you want to say I add or join, it would be añado. Asistir would be asisto. Confundir, confundo. Decidir, decido. Deprimir, deprimo. Escribir, escribo. Ocurrir, ocurro. Let's do this middle column for the we form, IMOS. Partir would be partimos. Percibir, percibimos. Permitir, permitimos. Sacudir, sacudimos. Subir, subimos. Unir, unimos. And if we want to do the ellos form over here, the ellos form would be take off the IR and add EN. Ellos, vivir would be viven. Ellos transmiten. Ellos prohíben. Ellos exhiben. Ellos distinguen. Ellos describen. Ellos interrumpen. Interrumpen. Muy bien. All right. So it's really not difficult. It's just something to practice. You really do need to commit to memory these endings. Remember the AR were o, as, a, amos, ais, an. The ER now are o, es, a, amos, ais, en. And the IR are o, es, a, emos, is, en. So once you have those endings, you know that O means yo, right? So anytime you want to say, I speak, I go, I read, I describe. You just take off the ending and add O for yo. I hope that helped. Please come back. We have a lot more to practice. Nos vemos la próxima vez. Mil gracias.